What's going on, Master Duel fans? James here again. To be specific, in this PvP showdown, if you're wondering what's with the 12 turns, realistically, I'm all about covering new cards that I never come across in all the 3 years of Master Duel. And to be specific in this PvP showdown, because it's 12 turns in, I wanted to get the majority of the knowledge as much as I can. So for the PvP showdown, at the time this was recorded, I happened to come across another tuber who goes by the name of Illustrious. Correct me if I'm wrong on the pronunciation, but Illustrious, when it comes to first coming across this tuber, getting to know her plant strategies is absolutely nice. And for someone who enjoys plants as much as I do, whether if it's Trap Tricks or Rika to be specific, realistically, all I can say is, plant-based is plant-based strats. So going over the in-depth of the so-called plant trap tricks. So plant trap tricks based off from this list. And again, this is all about the fun. So most cases, you got yourself the Lone Fire Blossom covered along with the Evil Thorns to essentially make up the Jasmine line. And then the Spore, some builds do tend to play the Synchro version of the Rose Dragons and or Plant Link lines and so forth. And then you also got the honorary Giga Plant along with Fallen Angel of Roses. And then you got yourself the Trap Tricks package along with the Naturia Cherries for the sake of being a plant tuner. Same goes for Rose Girl Plant Tuner. And then Dragon Tuner Up the Rocks Rose. Basically, you got too much lines involving your Rose Dragon shtick. So with that being said, let us showcase the duel. So that way, I wanted to go over, again, as much of the cards as I can for the sake of the archetypes and or indirect support and many more. And because this is PvP room with our hands, this is absolutely fine. So, to set Trap Tricks Myrmilio, getting bottomless. Now, Rose Bell of Revelation. Add a plant monster with 2400 or more attack from deck to hand. Okay, so aside from plant princesses, that's not Cherubime because she has low attack. What plant monster that has way too much attack in terms of target being searched out? That makes sense. Fallen Angel of Roses. And then, for Rose Bell of Revelation, you can banish this. Special one plant monster with 2400 or more attack from your hand. One effect per turn and only once that turn. So one effect or the other, can't do both. As for Fallen Angel of Roses, level 7 Earth Plant, Rika for the plants, Vernisylphs for the earth, 2400 attack, 1300 defense. Not once a turn, you can special this from hand by returning one plant monster you control that isn't Fallen Angel of Roses, but banish it whenever she leaves. Interesting. Sarah, of course. Unleashed, toss out Basilatris and Gorgonio, getting Selene. Gorgonio. Banish, discard Selene for Pareidolia. Pareidolia. Getting Medusa to be specific and not Sergio because To be specific, I actually rather have either A, Unleashed, or B, Basilicrus maintained in the grave just in case Maxi were to be kept in check. But real normal Medusa. Oh, it was the Celine that I originally intended to target, as it turns out. Also, that is such a made-up card. What is this? Hard once per turn on Draco Utopian Aura. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, negate the activation as it never happened, and if you do, kill that card. Then you can apply the following effect. Banish one monster from your hand, and if you do, special the monster that was just killed and sent to the grave by this effect to your field, but negate its effects. What kind of sick card is that? That's a little too nuts. Banish Fallen Angel to steal my Lady Medusa. Cosmic on Boo Boo Game. So that pretty much means Bottomless is there. Celine Spill Blood. Awakening for Basilicrus. Hook up. Set to and pass. Real Normal Didionea. Reborn Mamilio. Mandatory. Sarah. Basilicrus, 40 Quick Link Shogun into Gorgon. Sarah set another Bottomless. Okay, Crossroads Dragon. So this pretty much tells me this is relating to the Rose Synchros as well as Rose Dragons. So, Archetype Archive of Rose. The name of the game with the Rose in general, it involves dragons and plants. So, if I miss out any, comment below just in case. Starting off with the monsters. Red Rocks Rose, Blue Rose, and White Rose. They are the main deck dragons, 2 of which are tuners. Blue and White are level 4s, while Red and Rocks are level 3s. They are dark dragons. Red Rose, level 3, 1000 attack, 1800 defense. In the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Red Rose was once limited due to Adventure Kitchen Sink shenanigans, and all I can say is it does a little too much, let alone combo spam and so forth. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can special one Rose Dragon monster from your hand or deck that isn't Red Rose. Then, if it was sent to the grave just because of a synchro summon of a Black Rose Dragon or a plant synchro, you can also add one Frozen Rose or Blooming of the Darkest Rose from deck to hand. And that effect is a once per turn. So, of course, we'll get to Frozen Rose and Blooming of the Darkest Roses. Yep, so that's even more cards to go through. So, Rocks Rose. If this card is normal or special, you can add one card that mentions Black Rose Dragon from deck to hand that isn't Rocks Rose as a level 3 Dragon Tuner, 1600 attack, 1200 defense. So it's Stratos that isn't herself, and then while this card is in your graveyard, if a face-up Rose Dragon monsters, more than one, or Plant Seeker monsters, more than one, you control gets killed by battle or opponent's card effect, you can add this card to your hand. Each effect once per turn. Blue Rose. Level 4, 1600 attack, 1200 defense. When, not if, But when this card on the field gets killed and sent to the grave, you can target one Black Rose Dragon or one plant monster in your graveyard, special that monster, which is amazing in terms of the no restriction to Reborn. But the sad part is when, not if, because this is the early years of 5Ds. Because, you know, Akiza. White Rose Dragon, level 4, 1200 attack, 1000 defense. Upon normal summon, you can special one Rose Dragon from your hand or graveyard that isn't White Rose, and then each of the following effects once per turn. If you control a dragon or plant tuner, free special from hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard just because of a single material, you can send one level 4 or higher plant from dead to graveyard. So it's Foolish Burial for level 4 or higher plants. As for the other honorary Rose Princess. Level 3 Earth Plant, Earth for Vernisylphs, Plant for Rika. 1200 attack, 800 defense. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can free special from hand. If summoned this way, treat it as a tuner. Once per turn on a special this way, and then you can discard this just to get one White Rose Cloister from deck to hand. So she's Harpy Queen for this field spell. And when it comes to White Rose Cloister, if you control no monsters, you can special one Rose Dragon or plant from hand. Solid. And that effect is a hard once. During your draw, before you draw, you can declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap, reveal the top card, and if it's the declared type, apply the following effect throughout this whole turn, even if this card leaves. Level 7 or higher synchros you control gain 1000 attack. As for the others, when it comes to... Okay, so it's just the honorary Rose Princess in them. Okay, so as for the others... Aromaseraphine Rosemary, we know what's up with her in Aromas. Garden Rose Maiden. Generic level 5 Plants Dark Synchro. 1600 attack, 2400 defense. If this card is special summoned, doesn't matter how it's special summoned, you can add one Black Garden from deck or graveyard to your hand. And then, when it comes to Black Garden, we all know what's up about Black Garden throughout Yu-Gi-Oh's history. It's basically meant for like FTK strategies in any shape or form. So, nothing more, nothing less about Black Garden. And then you can banish this from your grave, then target one Rose Dragon or Dragon Synchro in your graveyard, special it out. Each effect once per turn. Garden Rose Flora, however, Plant Synchro Tuner of a Light. Generic, level 5 Synchro, 800 attack, 1600 defense. You can target one card in the field zone, kill it, then generate one Rose token, Plant Dark level 2, 800 both ways, in a tap position, and you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Synchros. Hard once per turn on the destruction of a field spell with the token generating, and then because it's a Synchro Tuner, once per chain, it's Formula Synchron in a nutshell. Either, during your opponent's main phase. For a second there, I thought it was during your opponent's main or battle, but it's just a main phase only. But on opponent's turn. Splendid Rose. Level 6 Plant Synchro. Wind, for some reason. 2200 attack, 2000 defense. One tuner along with one or more non-tuner monsters to make her. Once per turn, you can banish one plant from grave. your graveyard, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, cut the attack in half until the end of this turn, and then, during the battle phase, if this card attacked, you can banish one plant monster from your graveyard, cut this card's attack in half, and if you do, this card can make a second attack during this battle phase, and that attack half stat lasts until the end of this turn. Black Rose Dragon. We know what's up with Black Rose Dragon. Shoutouts to Akiza from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds with this Signer Dragon. Level 7 Fire Dragon Synchro, 2400 attack, 1800 defense. You guys can easily recognize this in Tenpai strategies, but when it comes to Black Rose Dragon specifically for plants, once per turn, you can banish one plant monster from your graveyard, then target one defense monster your opponent controls, change it to face-up attack position, and if you do, its attack becomes 0 until the end of this turn. That is a little too nuts. Black Rose Moonlight. Same stats as the OG Black Rose Dragon, but the twist is, instead of fire, it's a light. If this card is special summoned, doesn't matter how she's special summoned, or a level 5 or higher monsters, more than one, is special summoned to your opponent's side of the field, target one special summon monster your opponent controls, kick it back to the hand. Hard once on Moonlight's effect. And Ruddy Rose, we know what's up with Ruddy Rose ever since the introduction of considering the fact that she can be used in either Goatee for the sake of banishing everything, or Tenpai Dragon because Fire Dragon. Let's not dwell on that too much about Ruddy Rose. And as for everything else, in terms of Rose-related stuff, oh, can't forget about Crossroads Dragon. Link to Dark Dragon Link. Middle left, bottom middle, 800 attack. 2 monsters with different types to make it. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you contribute this and one plant monster, special one Rose Synchro monster, or one plant Synchro monster from your extra deck, and it is treated as a Synchro summon, which is amazing. If a monster's more than one you control gets killed by a card effect while this is in the graveyard outside of the damage step, you can banish this special one Rose Dragon monster from your graveyard. Oh, that is huge. And that effect is a hard once per turn for each effect. Now that Crossroads is here, Crossroads, tribute Dionea and herself. Whoa! Black Rose Dragon. Black Rose over Gorgon, Sarah 800, and pass. Unleashed, toss out 2, getting Celine. Simplified State. We are actually going to grab Basilius to be specific, because knowing Sarah straight up setting the bottomless, we actually had to play around the bottomless. So to circumvent this, Real Normal Basilius, Kato Blepus comes back, Basiltris comes back, Basilius toss out Unleashed, Exige Shoken into Melody, second Gorgon, Unleashed, Bottomless, Retribution, negate and kill Bottomless, Celine, hook her up, Gorgon over Sarah, and pass. Swords of Revealing Light, Real Normal the Evil Thorn. When it comes to Evil Thorn, Level 1 Dark Plant, 100 attack, 300 defense. You contribute this, earn your opponent 300 damage, and if you do, you can generate up to 2 Evil Thorns from your deck in a tap position, but their effects cannot be activated. So it's E-Telly for 2 Evil Thorns. Tribute, burn for 3, get 2 more. Typhon, Gorgon, negate Typhon. And now that Gorgon's attack is higher, she cannot use her effects due to Typhon in terms of 3,000 or more attack. Now, normally, Gorgon was supposed to use the effect off from the effect negation thing to mandatory kill off Evil Thorn, but due to Typhon's XZ summoned card's existence, Gorgon cannot remove the Evil Thorn that she's been pointed at. Catoblepus, Illustrious, XZ into Hum Humming for Melody, and just pass back. Real Normal the Rose Lover, level 1 Earth Plant, and you're both ways. So she can be 1-for-1, Where Art Thou, Lone Fire Blossom, Jack in the Hand, too many applications for level 1s. Earth, Verna's Self, Plant, Rika, Shenanigans. Hard once on Rose Lover. You can banish this from your grave, special 1 plant from your hand, and if you do, it is unaffected by opponent's traps. Traptrix Claria, Aromatherapy Jasmine, Tribute the Typhon, negate the Jasmine, Jasmine over Humming, mandatory effect, spill some blood from Celine, Catoblepus, Illustrious, Real Normal Illustrious, XZ Shoken into Muserhythm, Bottomless, Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, Top Deck Cyber Dragon. And what's even more funny, offering that Top Deck Cyber Dragon, is that somewhere in her extra deck, if she specifically has Chimera Tech Mega Fleet, I would have been lost from the get-go. But at the same time, Forbidden Chalice keeps me covered. Top Deck Surzeal, getting repos, activated. Banish Gorgon, drew into another Surzeal, Catoblepus, Illustrious, XZ Shoken into Tempo, Phoenix, Kill Off Swords, drew into the Solemn Judgment, and of course, Solemn Judgment in TCG land at the time this video goes up will be at 1 on Monday/today because side deck patterns do exist. 4,900 total, but for some reason, not lethal. Set 1. Feather Duster. Realistically, not willing to pay my life points because I'm at a lower threshold because I need my Celine to reset button itself. So I'm not opted to use Solemn Judgment. Repose. Pareidolia, get Surzeal. To the hand he goes. Burial from a different dimension. Special Cyber. Phoenix can't be killed by battle due to the co-link. Surzeal. Top Debt. Goddess over Cyber Dragon. And Nightmare Phoenix for game. So guys, that's going to do it for the PvP Showdown. And Lucidly, thank you so much for honoring this fight in the PvP Showdown. Be sure to follow the channel and be sure to give the likes, comments, subscribes to Lucidly's channel, and many more. That will be left in a link below. Also, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And if you are a brand new or returning Master Duel player after one full month of missing gameplay, be sure to use my campaign code in the description below so we can gather the leftover prizes for future content. I thank you all for tuning in, and I shall catch you guys next time.